Hi, I'm Santona Tuli. I'm head of data at Upsolver, and I have a morning ritual. Every morning, I do a pour over coffee for myself. Takes about 10 minutes, and it frees my mind. I buy local coffee. So now that I live in Northern Virginia, I get coffee from this local roaster called Vigilante Coffee. They're quite good, and yeah, when I move, I try out what's around there and switch to something new.
Hi, my name is Roy Hasson. I'm the head of product at Upsolver. I don't actually drink coffee, I drink tea. I'm a big fan of teas, different kind of teas. My favorite is a matcha tea. So I actually get my matcha tea from Laird Hamilton Superfoods. It has matcha, of course. It has some functional mushrooms. I drink that every single day. It gives you some clarity and it's just awesome. I love it. In addition to that, I drink chai tea every afternoon as well. So that's my daily ritual. We're kind of throwing the word product around a lot, but many times in these organizations, there really isn't a clear definition of what does that mean. There's a lot of things that go into building a product and building a sustainable, reliable product. And those are the things that we really need to help companies unpack. Because remember, like within a startup, you have ML teams, things like that. Like people are building a product company, they know. But in enterprises, there's a product team that's out there on the side, and there's a lot of internal infrastructure teams that can say the word product, but don't necessarily know what that means and what that entails. And it's really important to sort of distill that down into what does that actually mean, right? Like, how do you build a roadmap for your thing that you're building? What infrastructure are you going to build to be able to serve that to your end consumers? What kind of guarantees and reliability are you going to give them, right? Is there API spec, right? Is this thing going to be 99.9% available or not? Right? Mm-hmm. What does your support look like, right? If something breaks, what is that going to look like, right? So there's a bunch of things that go into making something a product that's beyond just, have a roadmap and treat it as a product. Like, what does that mean, right? So I think a lot of people are still trying to understand what that means. And we're sort of saying the words, but we're not actually doing the actions. And I'm seeing like in our tooling, we're trying to build more automation around this. Like I'll tell you, like in Upsolver, for example, when a user uses it to deliver a data set to an end consumer, right, whether it's for analytics or ML, we try to bundle a lot of the capabilities that you need around data management, consistently updating the data, making sure that stuff, if your source system breaks or stops delivering data for some reason, like your pipelines don't break and all of a sudden you have to fix it, right? Like we automate that recovery from those failures. And those are infrastructure things that you have to build to have a reliable data product. Now, if you're not using a tool, then you got to do it all on your own. But I really see like our tooling in the industry need to get better at simplifying this, because the teams that are building products aren't infrastructure experts, right? They don't have those tools. They don't have those capabilities, right? Like an application team will have a team that does infrastructure. They will have a team that handles, the backend servers and the databases. Like they're structured to deliver a product, but an ML team is not designed to deliver a product. They're designed to deliver a model, right? And they're responsible to go spin up Kubernetes or whatever with an API front end and deliver, highly scalable inference endpoint that maybe they don't know how to do, right? They can technically put it up, but they don't know how to, manage it as a product. And I think that's where the disconnect is in a lot of the conversations.
There's one thing I wanted to add / offer a slightly maybe different view than Roy, which is it's so interesting to me when thinking about product for external end users as opposed to thinking about data and ML products for internal usage. Like there are things that transfer and then there are things that don't. And so I kind of want to hear from Roy what you think about, you just said we kind of say product, but it's not always the same product, like concepts and ideas. But I feel like there is something to be said for, it's a different scale. right? If you're often, if you're building an ML application, let's say that you want, your total addressable market is very large. Everyone could find some potential use for your tool, versus when you're building a prediction that's going to help, let's say, your customer success team or something like that with their work. Like, that is an ML-based data product that is internal, and it's a much smaller user base. It's a very narrow use case.